Welcome back to the Cheeky Crypto Podcast with your hosts, Mike, JB, and Chris. Many thanks for listening in, liking, and subscribing. If you haven't done so, do us a favor and smash that like and subscribe button and turn on all notifications. Really do appreciate it. If you haven't joined the Discord or Patreon, links in the description down below. Fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. Guarantee you won't be disappointed, and most importantly, it's absolutely free to join. Let's get into some crypto talk. JB, how we doing, bro?
What's going on, everybody? I'll be the first one to wish you here a happy new year, and I hope you guys are not too hungover. Yeah, what is going on, guys? New year, new start, fresh start. Let's hope for some good entertaining time in the space this year. Hopefully no bad actors, they're all gone. 2022 is behind us, and let's move on with 2023. How are you doing, Chris?
Yeah, good. Good job you're asking me pre 1st of January 2023, because I'll probably be worse for wear watching this, like holding my head. But yeah, look, I think it's probably a good time and fitting to wish everybody a happy new year. Do let us know in the comments below what your new year resolution is. Really interested to read through the comments below. Yeah, I've got a huge challenge of losing 5 stone as mine, so I'm gonna start getting a wiggle on with that. But yeah, all good. Looking forward to 2023. I think it's going to be an immense year. I'm so excited. I think 2022, although was a rough year from an investment point of view, has been a terrific year from a Cheeky Crypto channel point of view, with all the milestones and achievements that we've made as a team and as a community.
It was a long year, 2022. It just felt like it was so long. So yeah, welcoming in 2023. Let's hope for the better. Let's hope we can get some more positive podcasts going as the news hopefully starts kind of transitioning into a better position. Obviously, we all still think there's a little bit more downside to come, but hopefully we'll start kind of like dredging our way out of it, right? So, Chris, for the listeners who don't know what 5 stone is, can you please give us an idea of pounds? How much 5 stone is?
It's around 70 pounds.
Okay. Yeah, I feel that.
Also
I could lose the same.
Also known as a Joey.
Oh God, that was good. That was good. I don't even know where to go with that one. But yeah, 2023. Super excited for it. Ready to get the ball rolling. Podcast is set up. Obviously, JB and I finally got set up. Cameras are good. JB's got a new PC. I got a new setup. So we're putting a lot into getting this podcast going, getting the gaming channel going. Discord is going to be huge this year. Go ahead.
I'm going to even put in subtitles, as you can see somewhere down here. So yeah, look, we're making a few different changes, trying to make it as engaging as possible. Obviously, it's not going to help if you're listening on Spotify or any of the other streaming platforms. We've already got immense audio, so apologies if we get people on for interviews that perhaps don't have the same mics as us. But the 𝗕𝗘𝗪 one was cool, man. Sean had a very, very good setup audio wise. So yeah, it's a really great interview, and expect more great interviews in 2023. There's lots that we're going to be looking to stack up.
Yeah, straight off the back of that, 2022, you guys, before obviously I came on, you guys absolutely smashed this space. Chris, the interviews, this is obviously new to the channel to an extent, and you've absolutely smashed interviews out of the park. Myself and Mike, we're now jumping on there with you. So obviously that's a whole new experience, something we're thoroughly enjoying. And I do expect more of the same, maybe even some bigger, more exclusive interviews over this next calendar year. Watch this space. This is obviously, I've got high expectations for this year. My expectations are super high. I won't disclose them right now, but over time, obviously, I will disclose what I expect for this year, what my goals are, where I want to be, what I want to achieve. So high expectations for 2023. I feel it's going to be an absolute banger.
What's one New Year's resolution, JB, that you have?
One. I've got a few.
Just one.
In particular, I want to buy another motorbike. I know that's.
Say that in English. What'd you say?
Another motorbike.
Oh, a motorbike. I was like, what did he say?
Sorry, I was getting excited. I was thinking about motorbikes and I started talking too fast. But yeah, personally, I want to buy another motorbike. It's just things that I like. But in this kind of space, I need to learn more. We spoke about this in the last podcast. If you haven't checked that one out, guys, do check it out. The New Year's Eve special, I had everybody on there. Brilliant. Get to meet the team, what's going on. But I did say I want to learn more about the space. I am still very young in this space, 18 months, nearly coming up 2 years almost. So I want to learn more. I've completed, obviously, the portfolio. I'm happy with my understanding for that. You know, it's really good. I've completed the Elliott Wave course. I'm jumping back in the tuition when, obviously, it goes live, which won't be long. So I've got a better understanding and I'm more confident with what I'm doing. As I said before, I had a good understanding for the Elliott Wave and I was confident what I was doing. Then a couple of things invalidated, maybe knocked the confidence a little bit. So yeah, this year for me is going to be another year of learning. You never stop learning, guys. If you stop learning, you get complacent. So it's just kind of going to be a rinse and repeat, just learning all over again. Keep it going. How about yourself, Chris?
Yeah, I think learning, as said on some of the other podcasts with the likes of All In and the Crypto Boys, learning was the biggest thing for 2022 as a year, right? There was lots of learnings for lots of different people, all different levels of experience as well. And I thought that was a fascinating interview. So, you know, if you missed that, do check that one out. And you know, we had the podcast, obviously it went out yesterday with the Cheeky Crypto team, at least some of them, not all of them were able to attend. It was rather short notice, but you know, I think the theme that was really apparent from that was the team are all learning different skill sets that they didn't have, and they're acquiring them from the likes of the course, the Elliott Wave Theory course, and so forth. And I think that makes a more well-rounded team. So definitely jump in the Discord, or look at Patreon if you wish to become a member, because you know this stuff is really supportive when you're new in the space and you haven't got that level of experience that perhaps is required to navigate in a bear market recession, right? And I think a lot of people, perhaps they've been humbled a little bit by, you know, the market, you know, people that called the bottom in June and were adamant that that was the bottom. You know, I do kind of feel that a few people have been found out, and it's going to be interesting because, you know, they would say that they have a lot of experience in the space. And the great thing about a community like what we have in the Discord is there's very varied levels of experience, and you can learn so much from people that have made lots of mistakes in the space, so you don't have to.
Yeah, what I think was great about 2022 was rough. One thing that I think helped towards the end was, unfortunately, the FTX collapse, right? I think what it taught people is to not leave your shit on exchanges. And I think going forward into 2023, where we're getting close to the bear market bottom, is that when people do buy these assets and they get back involved in the market, I think that people now understand that they need to purchase and pull off, right? I think that's going to be something as far as learning, right? We're talking about learnings from 2022. I think going into 2023, one thing that I personally is making sure that I do remove all of my stuff off of those exchanges once you purchase them, wherever you purchase them. I don't think it really matters as long as you're going to take it off. And I think that's going to be a big moving forward into 2023. I think that I'm hoping regulation does come about. I think there's definitely going to be leaps and bounds in 2023 of regulation getting started and moving a little bit quicker. I'm hoping by the end of the year there is some really strong regulation in there. So learning wise, I think that's probably one of the biggest things that hopefully retail like myself took away from 2022 was that closing out 2022. So SBF at the time of this recording is supposed to be entering a plea deal. Now, whether or not, I don't know how many years he gets, what info is he going to give? Like, you know, this thing runs really deep, you know, and I think, Chris, you've said it all along, like this runs deep, right?
Oh, look, it runs so deep that I don't think that he's actually going to make it to really give like any, you know, real I guess mind-blowing evidence or story or whatever. I just don't think that that's going to happen for whatever reason. I think it's bizarre how he's managed to get out on a bail. You know, I just think that's just, it's crazy. If there was ever a flight risk, he would be it.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And let's see, Alameda Research started selling some of its Ethereum holdings also. So I don't know how that's even possible. Like, someone please tell me how they even still have the ability to sell. Chris, please help me understand. How do they still have the ability to sell Ethereum right now?
No, I don't know. I really don't. Whether
Isn't
it's
it
them,
all tied up in bankruptcy or no?
well, I mean, clearly not. If it was, they wouldn't be able to just sell it, right? It seems very, very off.
I don't get it. It says there's an article, December 29th. Alameda Research liquidates Ethereum-based token holdings for Bitcoin. Data from Arkham Intelligence indicated that $1.7 million worth of tokens was sold. How? I don't get it. I don't understand how. Alameda linked wallets. Here, it goes deeper. It says from Alameda linked wallets sold in the open market over a span of several hours on Wednesday. It sparked concerns on crypto Twitter that the sales would trigger a steeper fall in prices and tokens. And there was quite a collapse on that day, 29th, as you saw altcoins start bleeding out pretty heavily. So I guess, you know, once you see Ethereum start dropping, people get really scared. That's when the fear sets in. People start offloading the remainder of their altcoins. I think people have started to feel a little bit more comfortable in exchanges now. So now they've reloaded the exchanges back up with their stuff to sell. So, you know, is this finally going to be that event, right, that we've been talking about, that one more shakeout? No,
I'll tell you what the biggest event and that shakeout's likely to be. Like, probability would be Grayscale for me. The contagion from FTX, Genesis will lead to in my opinion anyway, Grayscale having to sell or liquidate their BTC position.
How much BTC did this Grayscale hold?
600,000 BTC.
Holy shit, that's a lot of Bitcoin.
Just let that settle in right there, right? Like, I think
You think they would have to liquidate all of it?
Maybe not all of it. No, that's a bit extreme. But like, I can see them being in a position where they're going to have to liquidate a large percentage, and I think that we are likely to see I want to say black swan event, but it isn't really the right terminology, because we kind of know that there's a number of different things that could lead to you know, lower prices within the crypto market. So it's not really a black swan event. It's really that there's a whole lineup of different, you know, I guess ways that we could end up getting there. For me, Grayscale is just one of them. I think, you know, it's all going to kind of stem from Genesis. Now, you know, there's people out there that are saying Genesis are going to be all right, but it's gone eerily quiet for me. And
very quiet.
Yeah. And just because somebody in, I guess, a prominent position says that, you know, it's going to be okay. Like, we've heard that they're going to, you know, open up the withdrawals again and all this sort of, like, I'm just going to label it now as BS. You know, how many CEOs said that they were liquid and there was no problems? The CEO of Celsius did. The CEOs, I say CEOs, the CEO or you know, I guess high level management, director level, BlockFi said the same thing. Voyager said the same thing. Sam at FTX said the same thing. Like, there's a trend here, right? Like,
well, so
you know,
Binance says the same thing. Are you nervous about Binance?
I'm not so nervous about Binance because there's a clear agenda. The agenda is that, you know, they are the mechanism that caused the collapse by, you know, saying they were going to sell FTT. But ultimately, if they didn't, someone else would have, or something would have happened and they would have been found out, and, you know, we'd be in the same position we are now, maybe far worse, right? Who knows? So I think there's a clear agenda. Some very powerful people, you know, like I said earlier, it goes deep, right? It goes very, very deep, this FTX stuff. And yeah, look, you know, a lot of these people own the media outlets, right? And they can kind of control the way the media goes.
Oh yeah, we've seen that as well before. Though we spoke briefly on Samad obviously had holdings in a media company. Do you know what I mean? The
Yeah.
river runs deep here, really deep. So I think folk really need to invest their time looking at it. One of the things that's sticking out right now with me was Caroline Ellison. I'm actually just going to quickly read what she wrote here in her plea deal. Obviously, she was a co-CEO, then the full CEO of Alameda Research, and she's actually admitted in her plea deal that while she was CEO, she understood that Alameda had made numerous large illiquid venture investments and lent money to Sam Bankman-Fried and other FTX executives. In and around June 2022, she agreed with others to borrow several $billion from FTX to repay those loans. So we see the big circle spinning here. Everything's coming back round on itself. How these companies working together have ruined so many lives by spending money that isn't theirs, taking money that isn't theirs, and leaving a massive hole in the space.
I just don't understand what makes them think that they were going to get away with something that was, you're running billions of dollars through it. Like, I just don't, like, were you just brought up stupid? Like, I just don't understand that. Like, if you know something's wrong, I mean, I get it. Like, murder is murder. I understand. So maybe these people are just out to be like, maybe that's just how their brain resonates, right? You start a scheme, you got to follow through with the scheme. But I just don't understand how you don't think you're going to get caught when you're on Capitol Hill talking to people. You're talking with the SEC. You like, what the, like, how dumb are people? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. But I hate that people got screwed because of people's fucking greed, and it's just so fucking annoying.
Yeah,
Pisses me off.
I kind of feel like they just think that they're more
Untouchable.
clever.
But maybe they think they're untouchable.
Untouchable, more clever than everyone else around them, and that's normally how they get found out, right?
There's a lot of bad actors that have gotten found out in 2022. It's a shame. It's a shame. Shady ass people.
But you know, it needs this sort of stuff to happen in order to get the regulation. You know, what is mind blowing to me is Gary Gensler, the SEC, coming out and basically, you know, kind of how I perceive it anyway is like blaming crypto. You know, this is a crypto problem, and we're going to regulate for enforcement. And you know, they haven't given any clarity. The SEC are as much the problem as they are the resolution, I guess, to the issue, with the fact that they are, you know, part of a group that will be responsible for regulations or regulating the space.
I just think the uneducated responses from all these high ups has been quite the issue, right? Like, how can you say it's crypto's fault? All crypto is technology, right? That people are invested in. That's essentially what it all boils down to is crypto is technology. And you don't want to take the time to learn it, but yet you're going to sit here and, you know, talk bad about it or whatever. Do something to protect the people. That's your job. Your job is to protect people from getting hurt. So that should be your focus. And that's the part that's frustrating as a retail person, is that all people are doing is fucking pointing fingers, and nobody's actually doing shit. Rather than point fingers, go fucking do something.
Well, let's look at this. Let's have a look at this. Can you see that? Has that come up?
Yep. Yes.
Yeah. So this is the SEC website. Yeah, we are here for investors. Yeah, like, right. I just want to go over this, right? Like, the SEC protects investors, promotes fairness in security markets, and shares information about companies and investment professionals to help investors make informed decisions and invest with confidence. Right? Like, I haven't got their mission on this particular page. But basically their mission statement has 3 points in it. Let's see if it's in here somewhere. There must be about, maybe it's about. Where's their mission? Like, I think it's important to cover it. Maybe I'll just Google it.
Type it in at yeah.
SEC
there you go.
Mission.
It was just right there. To protect investors, maintain fair, orderly, and efficient markets and facilitate capital formation.
Yeah. So that is their mission statement. 3 bullet points. Now, I'm just going to be the absolute arsehole that I am. And I'm just going to point out that part of, I think it's the FTX. No, not FTX. It's BlockFi. Yeah, part of the BlockFi claimants, I guess, that are likely to get money out of the bankruptcy. Guess who's top of the list?
No idea. SEC.
The SEC.
Get the fuck out of here.
No, I'm serious, right? So, like, if you want to talk about being fair and let me just find the details, like, and it all stems from like this is blows my
so if you
fucking
guys
mind.
so just while Chris is looking that up, so if you guys are listening to this while you're on Spotify, you might want to go check this podcast out on YouTube. And if you haven't been on YouTube before, make sure you smash that like and subscribe button. We really would appreciate that. But go ahead, Chris.
So BlockFi agrees to pay 100 million in penalties, because obviously their lending product didn't meet the regulations. The SEC obviously put $100 million fine on them, right? Fair dues, protecting consumers. But as part of the bankruptcy for BlockFi, top of the list is SEC, and they are going to take $30 million. $30 million. So is that a fair market? I'm just going to put that to you. That's not fair, is it? Is that protecting investors? You know, all those investors that, had money or crypto on BlockFi. Would you say the SEC being top of the list is, I guess, looking after the investors and, supporting the investors? They should wipe that shit clean. $30 million, SEC, wipe that shit clean. That is not protecting, investors. It's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. It's nonsense. It's mind blowing. Like
it's going to take so long for people to get their money back, anyways.
Yeah, but like they won't get it back because the SEC are top of the list. They're getting their money back. They're getting their 30 million first. Like, fuck right off, Gary Gensler. Fuck off.
We're seeing this as well with the likes of FTX though. So FTX Japan have said they are going to grant eligible candidates the ability to release their money out of FTX. So who are these ones that are going to be granted the ability to release their money? It's not going to be Tom, Dick, and Harry. It's going to be the big players in the space. They're making it out as if it's, they're doing us a favour. But you're damn sure it's not going to be your average investor that's getting their money back. It's the high players, it's the high rollers in the game. Yeah, it's corruption. It's corruption at the highest level.
Let's just be like really brutal about it. But like the SEC, you're failing on 2 of your 3 counts of your mission statement. Definitely. You're absolutely effing it up. Gary Gensler, take a look in the mirror, quit your job, find somebody that can do it. I'll come do it. I'll do it at half the price. I'll do it better. I'll do it part-time and do it better than you. Like, honestly, you're talking about regulating crypto through enforcement. Like, it's just bullshit. It's just absolute nonsense. The SEC have been asked for clarity from Ripple for so long. For so long. Why not just give the clarity? The reason is because it's corrupt.
Yep.
It runs deep.
Yeah, what is taking so long for the Ripple case? Like either it is or it isn't. Like, why would this take for fucking years to figure out?
Read between the lines. If they had a bulletproof, solid case of what they're trying to prove, it would be settled by now.
It'd be classified as security, and you fucking move on, right?
Yeah,
why are we lingering here?
That's my take on it. They want to do that. I think they're in trouble. Their case isn't strong enough. They can't prove what they're trying to prove, so they're dragging the arse out it to protect themselves. Because when Ripple win, and I'm saying when Ripple win, if it's not settled, when Ripple win, there's going to be a whole host of things that will come off the back of this. The SEC don't want Ripple to win.
Well, yeah, because they're going to have they're going to have a shitstorm on them. So like go XRP.
It's just my opinion. Like, all of this stuff, it's all just my opinion. But like, just take a look at it and ask yourself, like, has Gary Gensler, done a good job? has he protected investors, or is this, you know, shit that keeps coming out of his mouth, you know, and being in the media around, you know, how they're now gonna focus on crypto, and you know, I can't remember the terminology that they use, but you know, then they're now going to come down hard on crypto. It's like, you should have been dealing with this previously. Like, it's an absolute joke.
Why did it
Yeah.
get to the point it's got to? How did they let it get this far? They're benefiting from it.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Plain and simple, they're benefiting from where it's got to. They have made so much money off the back of it. They're going to continue to make so much money off the back of it. The reason everything takes so long is they're continuing to generate money out of everything that's going on. So that's my take on it. Anyways, they're happy for this all to drag out because they're constantly generating money off the back of the shitstorm that's going on.
yeah, corruption.
Well, you would
is
think
just
that
so
they would
deep.
want, you would think that they would want regulation to happen, because then fees would start applying, right? So then you create regulations amongst exchanges and cryptocurrencies, and then you could basically, maybe there's fees that would be involved, and then you would start making more money that way too. Like, I just wish the regulation, I think there's a committee, right, that's starting to talk about all of this stuff, but it's not enough of a priority.
I think there's a few problems. Sorry to cut you off.
You're good.
I think there's one problem is like these individuals that are, like, you know, in these cabinets and deciding like what the policies are likely to be, are still using like a Nokia like as their phone. Like, they're
Fucking
still,
BlackBerry.
yeah, Blackberries. You know, they're so out of touch with like reality, and you know, I just think that's one problem. Like, you know, they're stuck in like, you know, what securities are, and like they haven't updated the Howey test and stuff like that. I just think that they're just stuck in like the old days, and you know, they just, a lack of willingness to move on, and all this sort of stuff, I think is a real big problem. But that's one problem. I think the other problem is, you know, the types of people that you're seeing, you know, talk about crypto on particularly the American news channels. You know, like, they're questionable people at best. And then you've got the likes of Kevin O'Leary. I mean, like, this guy is just an absolute douchebag, like, you know, in my opinion. And these are the sorts of people that are saying what crypto is and how they believe that it should be regulated. Sam Bankman-Fried, like, you can't make this shit up. Get some proper people that actually understand the technology, like the underlying technology, and, you know, have people's best interests at heart.
Well, isn't that why Charles has been going and speaking in front of the committee, and, you know, really trying to rally, you know, like XRP CEO and, you know, people like that to go and discuss it and talk about it.
Oh,
I think I agree with you. Go ahead.
that is exactly what's needed. The likes of Charles, the likes of Brad Garlinghouse,
Right.
David Schwartz. You know, you could,
CZ.
yeah, you could list off a whole host of people in crypto, like in prominent positions, that would be way better to be stood there, sort of supporting, you know, with the right type of regulations and legislation, and, you know, the requirements that are needed for a sandbox and all this sort of stuff. I just think there's so many better placed individuals than what we've seen, and maybe we're starting to see the likes of Charles, you know, and
Well, it's because they're not putting money towards these people, so they're not going to get to talk about it, right? Like,
yeah,
like they're not going to be the first one. Sam Bankman-Fried gave money to these fucking people, and so he's going to be the first one that gets called to say, "Hey, do you want to come talk on Capitol Hill about crypto and give us your fucking thoughts, because you gave us all 10 million each to, you know, do whatever." So it's corrupt, like you said.
Yeah, I just think it's dangerous. Even BitBoy's, like, you know, up there now, like, what the hell's going on? Like, this is I sometimes, I'm just sat here pulling out my hair, just thinking, what on earth is going on with this world? Like, don't get me wrong, I think BitBoy, like, you know, he's got the right, I guess the right,
he believes in crypto.
He believes in crypto.
So it's good to have him as an advocate.
I just, yeah, he just doesn't understand enough about the actual underlying technology. like, let's be like brutally clear. I think he's coming from a good place, and I think that's good. But you know, you need to have people that actually understand the technology far deeper.
Tech, right? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, it's because I think the people on Capitol Hill don't truly recognize it as technology yet, because it's still similar to like Amazon being in Jeff Bezos' garage, right? So it's still kind of like they're kind of not understanding the concept of Web3 possibly. Maybe they don't get it. Maybe they just look at it as a cryptocurrency and they're not looking at the underlying part of what crypto actually is, which is technology. So until, like you said, everyone that's on Capitol Hill is all old as fuck, right? They probably still have an AOL account that they are still talking to their friends on, right? So that's the type of technology. And so because of that, I think you're right. It's going to take longer because they're not willing to educate themselves on it. But bringing the likes of Charles, to say Sonny Liu, you know, bringing people to Capitol Hill to explain what it is would essentially help with investors getting screwed, right? Because then you know what you're regulating, you know how to protect the people, and then you marry everything together, and then you just create regulation, and everybody's fucking safe. Like it's not, it's the willingness to want to learn it and get, look, my mom, she doesn't give a fuck. She doesn't want to learn about it. She doesn't care. She doesn't give a shit. And she's the same age as half the fucking people on Congress.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that is part of the problem. And when I'm calling out BitBoy, right, don't take this as like I dislike BitBoy. This is I don't think influencers should be the ones, like, be it Kevin O'Leary, be it BitBoy, be it Coin Bureau, like, you know, whoever. Like, this isn't a BitBoy thing. It's just easy to call him out because of obviously everything that he's been talking about recently. But you know, it should be those prominent people that are behind the technology, like the actual, like, people that are, you know, positive for the crypto, for the technology, and not just for making a quick buck.
So in essence, guys, what we're trying to get you to take away from this is we want the Avengers to assemble and sort this shit out, and we'll all go home happy.
Who are your Avengers?
For me, I would have Brad Garlinghouse, Charles Hoskinson. Put him in a spot and I forgot his name. Oh my days! I would generally actually probably put Vitalik in there. I think
I would agree with Vitalik being involved in that, as he is one of the earliest adopters and earliest creators of the technology. I don't see why he shouldn't be there.
Sonny Liu would be my fourth.
What about you, Mike?
Those four. I agree completely with. I don't know enough people like Chris. You probably know way more people like involved in the space. I mean, you can't say Dr. Ben Goertzel, but I guess you could, because he's a doctor. He's involved with AI, and AI is huge right now. I think that would be another one that could potentially speak on behalf of the technology side of it.
The only reason I wouldn't put Ben Goertzel in there is I don't think that they are big enough in the space just yet. Whereas obviously the ones I previously mentioned, they're obviously huge players in the space. And another key factor I left off there is a CEO of an exchange, because I think that would have possibly a more biased.
Yeah, but they're going to bring fucking Coinbase guy on there.
Yeah,
and nobody likes that fucking guy.
That's exactly. I wouldn't have CEOs or leaders of exchanges on there. I'd have leaders of these independent projects that are trusted in the space. That, you know, we do believe that these guys are the good guys in the space. I'd like to see this kind of thing happen.
Yeah, because you remember Coinbase is publicly traded.
Yeah.
So, you know, of course they're going to want that guy. What's his name? Brian Armstrong? Is that the guy's name?
How about yourself, Crystal? What would your?
I think for me, like, Brad Garlinghouse would definitely be on there. Danielle Dixon would be somebody that I'd like to see on there as well. So, you know, we're going Brad Garlinghouse, Danielle Dixon. I think that Charles would be a no-brainer. David Swartz, I'd like to see there as well. I think that would be, you know, really interesting. Maybe even somebody like 𝗕𝗪𝗀𝗰𝗀𝗪. You know, I just think that there's some real prominent people in there. But I agree, I wouldn't have anybody from exchanges. I wouldn't have you know, I wouldn't have influencers. I just think that they have to be prominent in like top tier projects. 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗠𝗠𝗘𝗥𝗪 would be another good one. I don't know whether we'd have like the interest in doing that sort of stuff. But yeah, like I think those sorts of individuals would be the people that I would like to see sort of advocate for crypto as a group of Avengers. I think that would be crypto Avengers. I think that would be good.
I think
I like
overall
it.
here we need Chris to go and stand up on Capitol Hill and say, look, this is what we need to do to sort of this space out. You know, this is how we keep us safe. This is what we need to do. Because fundamentally, I think we're totally correct in what we're saying here. We need leaders of the industry to step forward, speak up, and you know, get the elder statesmen here to understand what the hell is going on. This is the future. We're ready for the modern world, the next iteration of the internet. This kind of stuff does need to happen. And again, I think it all does tie back to regulations. And I do think United Kingdom may be the first to take the step on all this.
Yeah,
I think they will lead the market.
I think with the UK, my worry is it is just scumbags that are leading it to, you know, basically, you know, fill or line their own pockets. And I still think it's very corruption led. Yeah, it's just my opinion.
I think you're totally right there. We've got a millionaire running the country who's married into a billionaire family, telling folk on minimum wage that are going to food banks how to spend their money and how that X amount of weeks enough to get by.
Yeah,
It's totally unfair. It's hypocritical, and I think it's the worst thing. It's one of the worst things that's happened to UK. It can't be any worse than Boris Johnson, but that's my personal opinion.
I just feel like a lot of these people that are in power are just way out of touch with reality. And, you know, it's a byproduct of what it is that they're doing, I guess, you know, in the respect of politics. You know, how many politicians and leaders do you see coming from nothing to leading a country? It's very, very rare that you see something like that, in my opinion.
All right, last topic, and then we're going to wrap things up. Can Solana withstand all of this crashing that's happened over the last couple of days?
My short answer is yes.
Really? Why?
Well, price wise, I think it's going to get annihilated. But like, this isn't the first time I said this, right? I first called to short Solana at just over $36. Where are we at now, Mike?
Time of recording? $8.
A pretty good call, right?
Pretty fucking smash on.
Yeah. And
I would say by this goes out, I bet you it's at $4.
I was just about to say, I said that it'd go below $5. So I do think it's going to get annihilated price wise. Do I think that it will recover? Yes. Do I think that it'll go on to do well? It's got the potential to, but it really depends on the team. And this is the thing, right? This is why I kind of always say when you look at projects and you go do your own research, team is so important. Like,
isn't it so backed by SBF and his cohorts though? Like
the price is going to get
articles all over the place talking about.
Yeah, the price is going to get annihilated. This is what I'm saying. But the price doesn't dictate like the level of technology that's sat beneath the hood.
That was down how many times this year?
It's been down a lot because they rushed it to market.
Yeah. That's exactly what I would pin to that as well. Is, you know, the outages they've had. I don't understand. Sorry, I was going to start that sentence off wrong there. I don't understand why people would have so much confidence in this if it has had so many outages. It's been rushed to the market so fast that it's got so many frailties. To us to see such an unstable project being presented to us for us to invest into. We've seen an absolute tanking in the market for Solana. It doesn't fill me with trust. I've never been interested in the project. That's just for full transparency. I've got no interest in it whatsoever. But I find it hard to understand why there would be so much interest and enthusiasm behind something which has got such an uncertainty behind it, and it's got such an unpredictable market. All these outages, it's for me, it's just a very bizarre, peculiar project that's been given to us in the stage that it's in.
I just think the greed led to people giving a shit about Solana because they saw the run on it. It went up to almost $250. People made a shit ton of money on it. There's big names that back it. And so people overlook the outages and But the problem with outages is then it ties back to everything we just discussed as far as regulation is concerned. Outages leads to hacks and, you know, shit going wrong, and then people get screwed. Basically,
So I'm just going to put it out there. It'll get annihilated price wise. They will continue.
You've said that.
They will continue building, and it will survive, and it will go on, and it will do okay.
You like Solana. I feel that.
I couldn't give two shits about Solana, if I'm honest. It's not in my portfolio. We sold it $189. $189, and we're out. We said we got there, we got out. There's a video on YouTube. Go have a look at the comments. Everyone telling us we were wrong.
I remember.
Yeah, and we made that decision. Now, like, I got back in for the portfolio builder. I got a bit fed up with the outages, so I pulled it at like $39, $40, around that sort of figure. We took a little bit of a hit on it, but like it looked like it was a good call to get out of it at the time. But I do think that, you know, just like Ethereum in the early days, it had problems, very similar problems. And look where Ethereum got to in the previous bull market. Look where it is now. It's fairly stable, I would say. You know, it's not really wanted to go down beneath sort of $1,000 really for any length of time. So look, I think Solana is going to be very, very similar in that regard. I don't think that it's a project that I'm going to invest in. But I do think that it will go on and it will do all right. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of damage still to happen, I feel.
Yeah, so be careful out there, everybody. Make sure you're careful. All right, boys, let's wrap shit up.
So as we do wrap this up, I'm going to put one thing to you guys. One thing that you're really looking forward to in the space in 2023. Pick one thing. Mike.
One thing that I'm looking forward to in 2023?
In the crypto space.
Well, for my money, regulation. Because then investors come in and then I buy everybody's fear and then I make a shit ton of money because now everybody decided to come back because there's regulation. So, and also just to protect everybody. Keith.
Chris.
One thing that I'm really excited about is visiting the US to meet up with some of the community.
That's awesome. I like
when are you coming to the US?
In May.
Oh, fuck yeah. That's dope.
Are you going to come join me in Miami?
Maybe. Tell me when, because I'm about to book my business for May.
May 18th.
Okay.
Why May 18th?
Bitcoin event.
How's our conference?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the Miami conference. I heard that thing is fucking
Yeah, it's normally popping.
Yeah, I heard that thing is crazy as shit.
Yeah, so it should be good. So
I might not survive that weekend.
I might not either.
I heard that's wild. JB, what are you looking forward to?
It's the obvious XRP Ripple. I'm so excited to see what happens on the outcome of this case. Is it settled? Does Ripple win? I want to know what happens here. I think this is going to be the catalyst for the future of the market. Let's call it that. If Ripple do win this case, it's going to change the outlook on certain things within the market. If it's settled, you know, it might not do anything major. It will just rocket the price of XRP.
You know what would be nice is if the case would get settled before regulation was discussed.
Yep.
So that there was clarity going into regulation. So that would be nice. So Maxine Walters, I know you watch our podcast and you're a big name up on Capitol Hill. Could you make Gary Gensler settle this shit so then you guys can regulate how you need to? We would appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, final thoughts on the day. Chris, starting with you, my friend. Rock and roll.
It's 2023 now. Not when we're recording it, but now that it's out. So, you know, it's going to be a great year. Remember, have good risk management, regardless of whether you're trading or not. I mean, generally have good risk management. Yeah, and I think, you know, if you invest in the right projects, we're going to have a fantastic 2023.
Awesome. JB, final thoughts, my friend. Go.
Final thoughts, just obviously a happy new year to everybody here. Thank you for tuning back in for yet another year of crypto with us, Cheeky Crypto Podcast, the main channel, obviously Cheeky Crypto. Thanks to Nick and Chris, obviously, for giving us this platform for yet another year. We're going to make this special. But yeah, overall, just I'll end it the same way I'll end everything. Tight stop loss, great gains, and stay safe in the space.
Awesome. And I will end it with make sure you smash that like and subscribe button, and we will catch you in the next one. Take care.